This is Spruce and Studs, and welcome on into another Besides the Bricks video. I should be about the 8th one that I'm doing right now. And today, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects. Well, you already know what my favorite subjects are. It's either Lego or Warhammer. Well, this time we're going to be talking about Warhammer. What I'm going to be talking about are, well, not really the dinky little figurines that Warhammer is, like you see over here. What I have here is the McFarlane Blood Angels Space Marine Lieutenant, which is pretty cool. This came out probably, I believe it was sometime last year in September or October, and I knew that I had to get my hands on that one. And another one, I have this McFarlane Blood Angels Primaries Hellblaster unit, which we're going to be opening up. Or actually not really opening up. I actually have, well, 2 of each of these minifigures, so we're going to see how they articulate and stuff. Another thing that I've been looking forward to the most is actually the release of JoyToy minifigures. I pre-ordered the Primaris Infiltrator Squad as well as the Incursor Squad pretty much whenever Games Workshop released out. But the thing is, I have realized that JoyToy has already released these products out where they're from, which is around the China region. And then they have already released the second edition, or the second wave of their things, which includes, I believe it is the Primaris Librarian, as well as the Ultramarines Intercessor Squad, and most importantly, the Blood Angels Intercessor Squad. As I didn't see anything come up on the Games Workshop worksite about the second release, so I had to go through other means to obtain these Blood Angels Intercessors because I'm not willing to wait to whenever Games Workshop is going to be releasing them. To this day, right now, I'm still waiting for the first wave to arrive, and it said that it was going to be initially about 180 days before it would get released to me. So me being the impatient person that I am, like I said, I went ahead and ordered the stuff from pretty much China directly, and in my hands, and I just got this today, is the JoyToy Blood Angels Death Company Intercessor box. And I am really, really excited to open this up with you guys. I have no idea how these are, what they entail, how the articulations compare and contrast to the McFarlane minifigures. I have read reviews then that the JoyToy ones are actually a lot more detailed, a lot more articulated than the McFarlane ones. So I believe this particular one, the Hellblaster, retails for about $20 US, and this one is pretty much the same, that retails around $20 to $25. I can't remember off the top of my head how much I actually paid for it. But the JoyToy ones, because they are manufactured and have to be imported from China, actually this probably is probably made in China regardless. Yeah, it is made in China. How ironic. But this is made for an American company. However, JoyToy is actually a company that is based in China. But regardless, I had heard these figures are absolutely phenomenal. You can swap out the helmeted heads with, well, bare heads, which is something that is not really seen in the McFarlane models. And as I said before, the articulation is a lot greater on these particular models than the McFarlane ones. So what's going to happen is we're going to be basically comparing and contrast the McFarlane ones versus the JoyToy ones and see which one is worth the money, because the JoyToy ones they do actually command quite a premium. They are about $100 each, so there's 4 of them that come in that particular box, which means that each figure costs about $25, and that is about, $5 more expensive each individually if you're compared to the McFarlane ones. So we're going to be busting the box open live. I have no idea what's inside the box, so you will see me opening it and seeing me, or actually hearing me in the aspect of a live reaction of what's going on. And later on, we'll just recap how I feel about these particular action figures. Alright guys, we are recording this live. There's absolutely no voiceover, and I don't really know what's inside the box, how it's packaged, whatever, so you know what? This is going to be a genuine reaction, so let's dive into it. So let's see here. Very excited to see what's inside, how these things are packaged, what they come inside with, and let's go, man. I am so pumped to see what's in here. Been waiting for about 2 to 3 weeks for this thing to arrive, and even that was a very, very painful experience for me. Well, not really, but I was very eager, and I still am eager. Okay, so it appears that all of these guys come in their own separate containers or boxes, which is pretty cool. And it looks like everything seems to be relatively intact here with some bending on the corners and stuff, but it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm saving this for anything else except your viewing pleasure and my unboxing pleasure. All right, let's remove all these intercessors, get this box out of the way, line them up, and see how it goes. I can probably only get 2 in this field, so we'll look at them 2 at a time. So there's a total of 4, obviously, and each and every single one of these action figures have their own different backstories, so I hear, and each of them have their own separate names. So let's, without further ado, bust one open. See what's inside, how it looks, how it's packaged. So it's like the McFarlane ones. It's packaged in this outer wrapping. It's got a custom case. And what is this over here? It's like a card. Brother Zohane is who this guy is called. And let's open him up and see what we got. Oh my, destruction everywhere. Okay, so cool. Looks like all the hands have been popped out. Okay, this is very nice. So compared to the McFarlane ones, it looks like these things have a very large dynamic range of motion. You can bend them in very different directions and pose them, well, however you want them to be posed, which is really nice. So this has got a 360 rotation over here. Obviously, that's not natural, but regardless, you can pose them to however you want it to be. And apparently, which is nice, as I said before, I believe that you can pop this thing off, and I'm not too sure how to do it, and I'm not going to do it right now because I really don't want to break whatever joint or ball joint is there. And you can replace the bare head with the helmeted head. So looks like in the back this comes with a connector over here that you can put, and we have basically the assault combination over here with the chainsword. Well, I believe this is actually for the bolt rifle. I can't remember which bolt rifle this is. However, this comes with the chainsword and the bolt pistol that these Death Company intercessors, I believe these are probably assault intercessors, are famous for. So this is very cool. And it's got some highlighting over here like you would normally do on a regular model. And then you have the nice gold printed, I guess, Aquila? No, it's not Aquila. But regardless, gold printed breastplate over here, which is very, very cool. This is very highly detailed. I am very impressed with what JoyToy has done. And just from looking at this model right now, I think it might be better than what McFarlane has to offer. So let's open up the second one, and I believe it's just going to be pretty much the same. Let's bust this open real quick and see what we have. See what this brother is called. This is Brother Garyus. Let's release Brother Garyus from his plastic prison and have him purge the Emperor's enemies, as I make a ton of racket here. So same thing. Oh, it's got the purity seal down here, which is very, very cool. I like that touch. Not really that much of a fan of this part, though. It appears that the painting over here wasn't that great. However, it's fine. I would have to say that Again, JoyToy has done a better job of articulating as well as translating these Space Marines more than the McFarlane ones. So again, this comes with your bolt rifle. I can't remember, this is the assault one, it probably is. And then obviously your chain sword as well as your bolt pistol. Let's look at the detail of some of these weapons over here. So again, it looks like it's worn. There's some battle damage, and there are some light highlights that you would see, which is a very, very nice touch. Looking at the bolt pistol itself, you can also see that there's some slight wear and tear that has been introduced, which is very reflective of how these Space Marines would be in real life if they were to battle the enemies of the Emperor. Very, very cool, very neat. I am totally in love with these toys. Ooh, this is a interesting ball joints. But anyways, moving on. Let's see who else that we have. So we have Brother Garyus, Brother Zohane, and through the miracle of time lapse. And let's open the third guy over here. See who we got. This is, drum roll please, Brother Oracle? Probably butchered that one. Looks like Brother Oracle looks pretty ticked off, judging by the grimace on his face. He's ready to slaughter enemies of the Emperor for the last time, because all these guys are suffering from the Black Rage. And I believe this guy actually fairly depicts the Black Rage. It's pretty hysterical. And again, just like with all the other models, you have your bolt rifle. I believe this is the auxiliary grenade launcher that comes along with it. And then, again, your chainsword as well as your bolt pistol. Very nice. And again, unfortunately, the painting doesn't seem to be very good on this one, or actually any of these. But hey, you know what? It is what it is, and we're just going to have to live with it. And the last one is, who is this guy? What is this guy called? I mean, not who is this guy. He is the Emperor's finest. That's who he is. And let's see what we have here. Oh, so this guy is really cool. He has apparently a Death Company marked backpack. This guy is Brother Sergeant Samuth, the guy to lead this particular squad into battle for the last time before they give in to the Black Rage, as I had stated before. Looks like he has a cool Auspex array, and I forgot what this is called, a seal or a badge. Off the top of my head, I do not remember. And I guess because this guy is a sergeant, this is what this is denoting. So again, very, very, very cool models here. I love the articulation. I love the attention to detail over here, as well as with the highlighting and stuff. Really nothing much else I can say except I'm impressed. So we will now see exactly how easy or hard it is to give the person or the Space Marine the accessories of death. So actually, as you saw right there, it wasn't that hard. With the McFarlane models, I have a very, very hard time making these figurines wield these weapons properly. And look how easy it was just to put these things in the intercessor's hands. It's pretty cool. I can go on forever about this, but regardless, as I said before to you guys, I am very impressed with this. These guys are obviously quite short compared to the McFarlane models. However, I have no complaints whatsoever with regards to these things. So let's bring some McFarlane models in so we can compare and contrast them. To your left, we have Exhibit A, the McFarlane models, and to your right, we have the JoyToy models. So you can see there is quite a large size difference between the McFarlane as well as the JoyToy ones. The JoyToy ones look like they're about, would take about 2 of the JoyToys to match a McFarlane. And let's pick up this Primaries Hellblaster here. And I was saying before that it's very, very hard to get this thing to be wielded properly, and you have to adjust and push and pull. It just didn't seem very easy, and the grip for these things doesn't seem to be, it doesn't feel as solid as compared to the JoyToy ones. As part of the articulation, there is some resistance with regards to the articulation that I suppose is nice, but it's just hard to articulate. And as you can see here, the plasma rifle is getting all, well, it's falling off, which is unfortunate. With regards to the attention to detail, you don't see a lot of highlighting on here. So as I have done a few painting tutorials, you would typically see some highlights over here to further make the model stand out. And I really like how JoyToy did those highlights to make that stand out, because if this was just a particular black model, it would just look absolutely terrible and blend in with everything. So that's a nice touch that JoyToy did, I really like. So then with regards to, you know, see, if you're trying to adjust this to go like on a kneeling kind of motion, it just does not feel as fluid. Mainly, I don't know what these are called, but these are blocking it the way. However, if you look at this particular model, you can pose it in a kneeling position fairly quickly and very easily. It's just the ball joints in the rotation is so fluid and smooth. So regardless, the McFarlane ones are really cool. I like them, but if you were to ask me which ones are better, I believe just by playing with the JoyToy ones that they are quite phenomenal compared to the McFarlane ones. And this is the Primaries Lieutenant, and again, you see that this, again, plasma pistol does not fit too well inside of this lieutenant's hand, and you have to play around with it to try to make it fit. And even if you try to make it fit, as you see over here, it doesn't fit as well, and you have to push it in. It just doesn't seem that natural, which I don't really like. However, with the power sword that this particular lieutenant is holding, it's very solid. You just push this particular piece in and it works. Unfortunately, his halo, I forgot what it was called. Oh, here. Halo fell off, and this thing falls off all the time, which I find kind of annoying. And then with the backpack, see, it just fell off there. And with the backpack is just basically putting a square peg in a square hole right there, and you have a lock. And with the pauldrons, it doesn't seem as detailed. As you can look side by side here, you can see some shading, you can see some highlighting. With here, it's just one solid gold piece, as well as, you know, the Blood Angels tier over here. So the detail is there. I really like how McFarlane translated this and did some damage over here as well. This is actually grooved and indented, which, you know, mimics real life how a Space Marine would be in battle. However, everything just looks, well, flat about the model. There's no dynamic, or there's no character just like this. Compared to this, there's, you know, it's a dynamic. You can see the shades, the highlights, how things have been worn over time as the Space Marine has used it. So anyways, that is my quick review, or actually not really a quick review, or quite a long review of this, but obviously you can see I'm very enthusiastic about this. Anyways, this is Sprues and Studs, and I hope you did enjoy this video, and I will see you all in the next build.